Hey guys, what's up? Loco here. Some big news dropped yesterday, or 2 days before, depending on when you're watching this. Bjergsen is retiring, and he's going to be the new head coach for TSM. And there's a lot to discuss here. Why is he retiring? Who's going to be the new mid? How is he going to be as head coach? And yeah, let's dissect all that. And we did get a little bit of clues on what's going to happen with the TSM roster in terms of the other roles. So yeah, let's talk about the overall future of TSM. Let's hit it. So the first thing we need to talk about is Bjergsen retiring. I think Bjergsen is retiring way too early. He's just 24, which might seem ancient in terms of esports, but yeah, he's someone that's very still capable of playing. I think when we look at Bjergsen as a player and his current skill level, probably not comparable to the best mid laners in the world, but in terms of North America, he is still one of the best, if not the best mid laner in North America. I mean, he won the season just last split, and he was like an MVP level candidate. I think it's crazy to think about someone like Bjergsen retiring at his prime. When we really get into the reason, of course, whatever reason he gave in his video is not going to be a real thing. My theory on Bjergsen retiring has to do so much with Burnout. He's been playing for such a long period of time, and he's an incredibly dedicated player. The way he plays and the way he just lives his life is centered around League. A lot of players like to have a well-balanced lifestyle, which I think is very healthy and which I think is kind of should be the norm. To be incredibly good at League of Legends, you have to be a little bit crazy. You have to have shitty work-life balance. You just have to be obsessed about League of Legends. You wake up thinking about League of Legends, you go to sleep thinking about League of Legends. This is kind of like how most Eastern players are, like the Chinese players, the Korean players. They live and breathe League of Legends, and they're competing with a lot of the players that are doing kind of the same. As for North America, yeah, we just aren't like that. Our players aren't like that. Our culture isn't like that. When people around you aren't putting in that kind of work and definitely aren't as dedicated as you, it's going to be really hard. And Bjergsen did that for 5+ years. He is crazy. Now, here's the thing. If you're putting in that kind of work and you're not getting the results to show it, it's going to grind you down slowly. And I think that's kind of what happened to Bjergsen. In North America, there's definitely been years where he's putting in insane amount of effort and doing everything possible to carry the team. And it just wasn't giving him great results. And even when they were winning in North America, every time Bjergsen went to World, he got crushed. I really want you guys to think of Bjergsen during Season 4 and Season 6. He was a world-class mid laner. For example, let's go all the way back to Season 4 Worlds. I think this is a clear example of Bjergsen kind of being limited by North America and not by the effort and the dedication that he put in. When we were screaming Samsung White a lot, we got crushed at the start. Pawn and Dandy just smacked Bjergsen upside down. The way they did their wave control, the way their timings were, Bjergsen just had no idea what to do with it. And it's because teams in North America never punched us in that way. Teams in North America never pushed us in terms of that. And yeah, initially we were getting whacked, and we started to figure out what they were doing, how they were doing their wave bounces, how they were setting up the ganks, the kind of timings that they had when they picked Rengar, the kind of timings that they had when they had Ori plus a certain jungler. And little by little, we caught up a lot, and especially for Bjergsen, he started to match up against Pawn. He started to match up against the duo of Pawn and Dandy. Of course, it wasn't 1v2, he still had Centaurn, but Centaurn was still a very newish player, and he just was not on that level. Bjergsen grew so much in that 1 month. He learned so much, and he could incorporate so much of what Samsung White was doing to him into his gameplay. I just think if he was in a better environment, he would have been a much better player.